Wait.
Ah, hi. I'm so excited to finally get to talk to you on the live.
Hello.
Yes, hello. So I am so excited to introduce Paige Thompson, aka Lulu Tiny Hands. We're interviewing this wonderful gem today, and I've been dying to be able to talk to you in person. So thank you so much for working with like my schedule, Nelson's schedule, and just making it happen. So
of course.
Yeah, so like I just wanted to start by asking you like how did your PV journey begin? And like did you start on EUC or was it something else?
I originally started on e-scooter, like a 9-bot. One of the stores in Toronto was selling. So I started on one of those. Actually, no, I started on Go Tracks that Jesse bought me. And then I went to a 9-bot. But I only lasted probably about, I want to say about a month or two on there until I got converted over to EUC. And then it kind of just spiraled up. But the first time that I've ever seen like an electric unicycle was when Jesse's really good friend, Eric, part owner of Mini Wheels, brought over his 14M from Kingsong, and it kind of like spun up on my stairs and I didn't know what was happening. And then the next thing I know, this wheel is just kind of like overspinning on my carpet. And I was like, oh, and he's like, oh yeah, it's just my electric unicycle. Like, oh my gosh. But that was a whole story and a half. But that was like the first time that I've ever seen an EUC, and then Jesse obviously got into it, and here we are.
Oh, so what was your first wheel and why?
My first wheel that I've personally owned was the Begode Extreme, and it kind of sold me off just because of like the whole off-road featuring. And I was going to get, I don't know exactly which one it was a Kingsong S19, thank you. But then the Extreme came out and everything just changed, and it had music and it looked beautiful to me. So a friend of mine helped me kind of get it, and here we are.
You and Grace actually got me into wanting an Extreme because you guys were just talking about like how good it was off-road.
It
and it wasn't as much of a heavy wheel because like I feel like I tried to do like the S22. Like I remember trying it at Amped and it was Law's S22 and I couldn't even mount the S22. And then at the First Northwest, I tried to use Mike Leahy's S22 Pro and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. It's so heavy. And then like I didn't know how to go over like these rocks. So I went slow and I got thrown into a blackberry bush. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna be able to off-road. So thanks to you and Grace, I got an Extreme. And having the speaker is actually really nice. Like, I'm so happy about that. Speaking of Extremes, I see yours behind you.
Yes, my beauty there. I was lucky enough to have Jesse print me a whole bumper kit and whatnot, but I love it. There's nothing that I would change about it. It is a little tall for me to kind of like mount. I'm just starting to mount more independently, confidently around people because that's my biggest fear. But I've ridden the Master and I've ridden the ET Max and I've ridden some other wheels in between, and it takes the cake for me. Yeah. And a lot of people I find, because the speaker does sometimes when you're off-roading, it can break, right? Because it is just at the back there. But I find like obviously if you're really careful and you have the proper protection, it's totally fine. But that's the biggest highlight for me, to be able to listen to music while I'm riding and calm my nerves, but still to be able to hear slightly what's going around with me. Because I don't like having music in my head and then not being able to hear, right? Anything can go wrong.
Exactly. I agree. Do you name your wheels? Because like there's a few of us that were like, oh, this is William, this is Tinkerbell, this is Kevin. Do you name your wheel?
Surprisingly, I have not. I've named all my drones, but not my wheel. I don't think maybe I've came up with one or thought of something good enough yet. That kind of maybe once I get more into the hobby and I find more of my niche. Well, I guess I found my niche, but I just haven't thought of one yet.
It'll just come to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Somewhat one day.
How long have you been riding EUC now?
I want to say about just over a year. It was about a year in, I want to say, was it January or December? But obviously with living in Canada, we have some brutal winters.
Yeah.
So there's most of my EUC riding time is cold weather, right? So I haven't been riding.
Mm-hmm.
I have under 2K on my extreme, and then I put 500 kilometers on Sasha's master.
Oh, wow.
So not a whole lot of riding, but I've been riding for about a year.
Yeah, because every time I would ask you if you were riding, you're like, there's so much snow. Like, we got so much snow. Hi, Mario. Thank you for tuning in. We got Mario rides in the house.
Hello.
Yeah, so like I could understand how you feel, because here we moved from New York to Portland and they were not kidding when it says it rains all winter.
Mm-hmm. So, and Jesse's wheel's not waterproof, so.
Which wheel does Jesse have?
It's
a Master 2.5 upgraded to a Master 4, but there's no gaskets.
Okay, well.
I call it a Frankenstein.
A Frankenstein wheel.
Yeah.
We're starting to see more and more of those too, by the way.
Hey, it works for him.
Yeah.
And if it works for him, then so be it.
Yes. I wish I can like mod my wheel. I'm just starting to really like be like, okay, I have to learn the logistics of this stuff. I need to learn about the settings and like,
yeah,
it's so important. Like there's so many, like there's hard, soft, medium mode. And like, you know, I'm like, I need to learn how to like tweak my own wheel, because I can't have turbo with me all the time or someone who can help me. So it is something I feel like we need to be better at learning.
I am 100% with you on that one. I don't even have the app on my phone because Jesse just does everything for me. I will say I typically don't ride without Jesse too much yet, just because I still feel like I can ride, I can do it. I'm not confident to do it if something was to go wrong. So, and especially kind of city riding around here, we got some crazy drivers.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's one of those things.
I get that. He's like your safety blanket, you know?
Exactly. Like he can ride, he could be riding like a block away and I'm fine. Yeah. But if he's at home or he's somewhere else, I have so much anxiety. But it's all baby steps. And it's another reason why I got into PEV, was to kind of get me out of the house more. I'm such a homebody.
I can totally relate to that. I feel like, I don't know, turbo kind of got me a bit outgoing, but I'm more of an introvert, and it's like to pull me out of things, because anxiety, right? Like anxiety will make you think you're real. But then once you get out of your own comfort zone, you're like, okay, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I made it. I survived. I do want to talk about your gear, because I love your gear. I love the fact that everything is black and pink. Like that black with that pop of like hot pink is so pretty. So what are your gear recommendations? Like what has worked for you?
Honestly, everything is youth. And it's typically all Fox as well, just being such like a smaller person there. It's been kind of draining, I will say, trying to find gear that is really protective and works for me, but also doesn't kind of sabotage my own insecurities, I guess. So it's been a lot of youth gear. Fox has been one of the best brands that I find that has been really helping. Now I've had to add like more Velcro to some of the straps just from like stretching out and whatnot, but it seems like most of the women's gear doesn't fit me too well in the upper area. So it's Fox Kids stuff, but for what I'm doing, I think it's fine. Like I'm not hitting crazy jumps like Jesse. I'm not going super fast or anything like that. I am in the middle of trying to find new boots, because I would not recommend my boots to anybody. But I wear Liettes and everything as well. Those work great. Yeah, that's mainly my gear, but typically I go for black and white and paint it all pink, because you can't find pink anywhere.
Yeah, so like I guess like you're right, like it's so hard. I always tell a lot of people too that especially the smaller women, I'm like, oh, hit up this person, because they have told me they had to shop for youth gear to be able to have something. And I find that a lot of women's chest gear don't have shoulder padding, and I'm like, why?
No, it's always like just this little tiny sleeve thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, that's not very protective. Or like I had this I think Kyra, she hit me up. I hope I'm saying her name right. And she was like, is it normal for the chest gear to move? And I'm like, no. I'm like, you want to get chest gear that's going to like be secure, because I've been throw punched by my chest gear because I didn't have it tight enough, you know? So do you guys get that? Like, do you have a store out there where you can try on gear or try on boots? Because I'm totally happy to send some like boot recommendations.
We do. We have two stores, actually two pretty popular stores, GP Bikes and Royal Distributing. I'm not sure if you know what those stores are. And oddly, we live right around the corner from it. So we end up just like going there. The only thing is about it is it's the only stores around. And in the area that we are, there's a lot of dirt biker, four-wheelers, motorcyclists, all of those sort of extreme sports that take it kind of a lot more serious, or kind of have the financials to just go and grab everything quickly when it's on sale, or grab the best stuff and then it's not in stock. I find with me, a lot of the gear that I want to try on, it's not in stock. Because typically, say there's a female dirt biker, she's going to get there way before I am. Yeah. And she's going to grab that chest protector. Helmets have seemed to be pretty good to find. Yeah. Boots, they're good to find. It's just trying to figure out what works and is more comfortable with me, especially since the ones that I'm using now, like there's a lot of play in them. So I'm allowed to be, I'm able to move a lot easier instead of being so stiff. So that's the one hard part about it. So I have to order things into the store and then be able to try them on. And I don't like online shopping when it comes to that. So
yeah.
But
So
no, there's a couple good stores.
That's good that you guys have like a few places you can try out. But would you feel like that women do have less of a selection than men when it comes to gear?
Big time. And I find it also very unfair that there's more men pink stuff than there is for women. Why is there a whole cute pink set of Troy Lee design outfit for $700 and I can't even have it right now because it fit for men?
Yeah, she's like, can I speak to the person in charge, please? Like, come on, get it together. I think us women just need to like come together and hit up all these manufacturers and be like, can you please work with us to make gear? Like, you see riding, and especially like from the time I started to now, there's so many more girls riding right now.
There is.
Like, come together and like make a stand and be like, please make us gear that fit.
Even compared to when I first started riding, there's been quite a few. Just new riders coming in, and gear is honestly one of the hardest things I find for anybody that's really female, just in general.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't fit nice, or you can't find it, or it's overpriced, or there's just always something.
Yeah. Something with the gear going on. So I wanted to ask you, because I see a lot of your videos, and I see like you got into jumping, which is like such a scary thing for a lot of people. Like, how did you get into that?
I have a boyfriend that doesn't like me to say no. And it doesn't help when you surround yourself by jumpers. So that is, I've never stepped foot on a track. I've never jumped. I've never even fallen in my life. I've taken it very easy upbringings. And I honestly don't know what kind of took over me and was like, yeah, let's do this. I think it was just like the motivation from the community, especially in the beginning. I had a lot of the people from Ride One. I'm not sure if you know that company that was around before. They were really motivating, and they really pushed me and brought me out of my bubble and kind of showed me what I was more capable of doing than just kind of arts. And I think that's why I push. My dad, he's a farm boy. He doesn't really show a lot of expression. And there was one time when I started jumping, and he just like came up to me, and he's like, I'm so proud of you that like you're stepping outside of your bubble and you're getting out there. Like I'm so proud of you. And I think that's what really, really got me to keep going. It just feels nice. It's scary. Yeah. I'm terrified.
Yes, you do it so well though. Like, you look like you're in your element. Like, you just look natural, and I like that you show how you're progressing with jumping, because I know like some people just post jumping videos and you're like, oh my god, that looks so cool, like how did they do that? And so it's kind of cool that you've been doing that. Reese said, yes, gear is definitely more tailored to the male population when it comes to size, fit, and color options. Yes. You are absolutely right, Reese. That needs to change because, you know, us girls like to look stylish too and be protected. So.
Exactly. We don't always want to, you know, we like to look like petite, little feminine sometimes. Like I'm a very girly person. So it's like, even putting on the dirt biking pants put me in a whole mental spiral because that is just completely different.
Yeah, and then the sizing is so weird.
It is
so weird, or like they don't come up higher than like your lower hips, so you feel like you're wearing like.
It does this because like I am smaller, and I understand like the pants are designed for like sitting, so like there's like that stretchy fabric, but we stand quite a bit, and the way that I wear them, and because I'm like small, I'm gonna call it this. It gives me like a little butt shelf, and it doesn't make me feel so like, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't wear these. I went through a whole spiral, and then I had to go through like, Jesse's like, oh, you look so cool. This is the way it looks. Like everyone's gonna be like, you look the part. They're not looking at that. Get out of your head. Right?
Yeah, I know.
Having Jesse has honestly, it's been a huge blessing to have. Between all the gear trying on, him altering every jump I hit, he builds every jump I hit. He's a big reason why I keep pushing.
That's good. I'm glad you have such a supportive partner. Oh, hi, Shira. Hello. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello.
Interview you. I'm interviewing Shira in June, so I'm excited for that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So back to jumping, because I went to the pump track with Reese yesterday.
You're saying that.
Yeah, and Reese is she's such a badass. Like she's just like, I don't know, she's just so fearless. Like she's terrified, she'll do it anyway. And like that's kind of like motivating me a little bit more. What are some of your best practices leading up to jumps? Like what is some advice you can give someone like me who wants to start jumping? I
personally, I like playing music. If I don't play music, I get too much in my head. But I honestly, for me, what happens is I just like to roll over some of them at first. And I get that feeling of, okay, this is how high I am. This is kind of what the wheel's going to feel like. And sometimes actually rolling over them is more scarier than just hitting the jump. And it throws you a completely different feeling. What helps me a lot is also kind of getting Jesse to ride my wheel, telling me the speeds to kind of hit, working through like how I should have my body formed and everything. But it's one of those things where it's also depending on the wheel. You find your own little trait. Sorry. So your own little tricks to do, but the rolling over and then the supportive community is what really got me through it. The height and watching other people sometimes and the accidents, like some guys just kind of send it, they don't care. And I see that and I see what can happen, and that's what ricochets in my head. But what I also try to watch is what my wheel's capable of. I watch a lot of Wrong Ways videos with my Extreme, and I see what the wheel is capable of. I just need to believe in my wheel, and I need to believe in myself. Jumping is a lot easier than a lot of people expect it to be. It's more so the level footing of the landing, which is what obviously I have a hard time going to the one side all the time. But it's just in your head mainly. I find like speed is scarier. But you already have speed down pat, so now you just got to slow it down and just go over the jump and land straight. Like keep your feet flat and you're good. That's my biggest thing.
That's really great advice. When I first started trying to jump, I was jumping at the first batch of T4. That wheel had like no torque, so I kept overextending it, and of course I'm jumping into these airbags and I'm like overextending it. But now I have a wheel that's capable. I feel what I'm trying to get done, and Turbo's printing the pads that he designed, because every time I've jumped my wheel with like the Grizzly Flow pads, my feet always come out and I've like always crashed. So I'm like, I refuse to do any jumping or anything until I get pads that can lock me in, because my feet can't be flying off the pedal as soon as I catch air.
Well, Jesse actually had to alter my toe pads to be like 1.5 inches wider because I am a little bit more pigeoned out,
Mhm.
where he's more hugging the wheel and everything like that. But I was having the exact same issue as I was flying off. My toes were coming off. I can't grab onto my wheel like some of the boys can there.
Mhm.
Um, the toe pads really make a huge difference when it comes to jumping. It's is a huge difference.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Shira said you have a great bunch of wheel mentors, and Karen is like, "Let's go Toronto."
I definitely do have some pretty good wheel mentors, like Sosh and Jesse. They between the two of them, if I wanted to race or do anything, between freestyle, jumping, racing, any of that, speed,
Yeah, you have the best.
they're the guys for me. At least they know how to talk to me. They know how to deal with me. I had a panic attack so many times, and they deal with it.
That's so important to have like a mentor like that, and I see that a lot with Brett with the Toronto E-Riders
He's
group.
awesome, yeah.
He's out there mentoring them, like telling them, like I remember Karen when she was racing at EskiCon, I think she like had an issue with her board and fell off the board, and he's like, take a second and then get back on your board. And I'm just like, he's so great with them. Like it's so sweet to see.
He's awesome.
Yeah, with some of the men like mentoring the women and just,
Yeah.
you got this, don't worry, like it'll be fine. I can't wait to get Karen and Shira on the show. So hopefully soon, ladies, soon.
Yeah, Brett and Karen and Shira were one of the first people that I've met in Toronto over at Ride One. My Brett and Karen were the first two that I've actually ridden. Like Brett does the sunset cruises. And Shira was away at, I think, a family event or a race or something. And she's like, there's this girl coming. She's going to be in pink. Look out for her. And Karen came right up to me and gave me dabs and was like, hey, how's it going? Made sure I was okay the whole time. Brett brought me right up front and made sure I wasn't like left behind or I wasn't scared. Or they're awesome. It's a good little community out there. And what they do for Toronto and Canada, putting us on that map, it's phenomenal and it's really inspiring, honestly.
I honestly can't wait to go out there because of that. Like I see that you guys have such a like tight-knit community, which we're gonna talk about that later. But I love the support of the women in the community. Like we're not like uplifting each other, women empowerment, like we got your back. So that's so important, especially with new women coming into the sport. It's just being kind, you know, being compassionate, being friendly, you know, being supportive, really all important things. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer trail riding over street, or you don't really have a preference? You like
trail riding all the way.
Yeah.
If I'm going to hurt myself, I would rather it be in Mother Nature.
True.
A car and people and like pedestrians, it's all way too overwhelming. I'm terrified of the city to begin with, for my own personal past reasons. Mother Nature is where I belong. And my other half, Jesse, does not like walking. He broke his toe walking. So it gets us out, actually seeing the world and seeing the trails. Trail riding is my thing. I find that I can concentrate a lot more on the dangers and the possibilities that can go wrong compared to all these different vehicles. If I fall, my wheel ricochets and hits a pedestrian, I'll never forgive myself. My wheel would be going in the trash.
Yes.
Right.
Coming from New York, I totally resonate with that because like you have to worry about all the other PEVs that are there. You have to worry about the pedestrians not paying attention, cars running reds, cyclists running reds, kids just running into the bike lane. Like there's so much more you have to worry about. And like, yes, I went trail. I did like a little baby trail with Reese because Reese was like, don't worry, like you'll be fine because I had my master that was on a street tire. Whole thing of like,
that would have been hard.
Oh my god, yeah, because it was raining on and off. So she was like, just avoid the mud here. And like there was some spots where I had to walk my wheel down because like I saw like a branch sticking out. And I'm like, I do not have butt pads on. I don't have like press gear on. Let me just walk my wheel down. I'll be safe. But yeah, I do like the trail riding. It's like it's a bit of a challenge, but you're right. It's softer landing, I suppose.
It's more. Hey, I got ran over in the off road. So by my boyfriend, his wheel ran me right over.
Oh,
So
no.
it's definitely a lot more forgiving.
Yeah.
If that was on pavement, it probably would have hurt a lot more.
Yeah.
But anytime that I've fallen down ravines, I've fallen down rocky hills, rooted, everything. I've never actually hurt myself. If anything, I've pulled a little bit of a muscle because my leg I can't get my other foot out of my wheel,
Yeah.
right, when something's happening. So I get kind of like thrown a bit.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot more forgiving, I find, than having to land on concrete or worry about vehicles coming at you, right?
I agree. Very true.
And I love the challenge. It's a good workout.
It is. And like, I did a little bit of that trail riding and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to finally do this. I'm going to come out and try to do this more frequently because I do want to get better. I didn't have that option in New York. We didn't have a car. So, I would have some of the one wheelers like, come to Long Island, come trail ride. And, Kyra's like, trails are where it's at. Yes, Kyra.
Yes.
I think so too. I think I'm gonna be a dirt queen, like Grace here. Grace is like, let's go do Boom Trail, and I'm like, I think I'm ready now. I have the gear, I have the wheel, I have no reason to not go out and
start off on like a wider trail, so you don't have to like worry so much about like pedal clipping or like turning so tightly. I find that was like one of my biggest issues, especially with like the extreme. It's a taller body. So it kind of, if you get it tipping over, it kind of gets harder to get it back over, I find. I started off with, actually, no, they put me on a small trail.
Yeah.
Route.
I heard the trail rating system is different in Canada than it is in the US.
Yeah, most of ours are all homemade. And the ones that we are allowed on, they're not as maintained. Like there's quite a few like biking trails, but they're kind of surveillanced as well. So like sometimes if there's too big of a group, you get caught and you can get a ticket or something like that. We don't have what Gabe has. BC. We don't have what west side of Canada has.
Okay.
Our trails.
All right.
Yeah.
Silver Black Samurai says, miss y'all. Hope to see the EUC family at some events this year. Yes, trails, come to the Northwest. Yes. Please come. We would love to have you too.
Yes, we want to come so bad. Send us the dates and we would love to make that our first official race event.
Oh, I'm so excited. I hope
over there. Amped and Amped.
And Amped.
Yeah, and we're going to Amped.
Oh, perfect. Seth will love to hear that there's new people coming to Amped. So what are some of the challenges you have faced writing EUC or learning EUC?
I think the biggest challenge was mounting for me, between the anxieties and how high up the wheel is and how short I am. I'm like 5'1", 5'2". So that was one of the hardest part, especially since the Master, it's shorter. So it was kind of easier to get up and get going. With the Extreme, it kind of get that a little bit of a challenge sometimes. But besides that, it was pretty easy. I think my only big challenge now is just my form on turning. And I don't like, Jesse says I need to get my body over. And since I have hypermobility in like all of my bones and my muscles there, I have to have my knees a little bit more bent, which then squats you, puts your butt back more, which slows you down. So those are a little bit challenges that I'm trying to work towards and try to figure out how I can kind of increase my speeds around corners, get myself over without popping my knee out. Because that is one thing, is I can get up the wrong way or turn the wrong way and it just kind of pops out and then gives out. So besides that, I think the biggest challenge is just confidence.
Yeah, but you're right with the mounting thing, because I feel like these wheels are getting taller. They're shorties over here.
Like, why do they need to be so tall? It's so hard to carve on this thing.
Yeah, and then like you have to have
your carving.
Yeah, and then you have to have your pedals up, especially for trail riding, so that you're not clipping on like rocks and stuff. So it's like you can lower your wheel, but like, I don't know. I just feel like there needs to be some medium for us shorter riders.
And I think that's where, isn't that the new wheel, like doesn't the NOSFIT have that? Where it's like in between? Yeah. Doesn't the NOSFA have like the in-between where you can kind of adjust it? Or the apex?
Oh, Shira, you're in here, so can you, if you know something about that, let us know. I think Shira just got hers.
Yeah,
so.
she did. Her and Brett there.
Yeah, so
I think
Shira,
Jesse and Alex both got to try them.
Yeah, I've yet to try it, but yeah, Shira, let us know. Okay, so like, how has like writing EUC helped with your mental health? Because I know you're a big advocate on like mental health and like things like that.
For my personal self, it's given me the confidence within myself to actually try new things, and instead of just saying no and sticking inside my little bubble of safetyness, that's the really big thing for me. And like, I'm very fearful of the world and like what the possibilities of what can happen, because I know what can happen out there, and it has given me that freedom to be able to leave the house and not feel so locked up, which is really like stressful. Like, it takes a lot of stress off your shoulders. And it sucks being kind of like locked in your own little cage. Sometimes it's nice when you want to be, but you see everybody else enjoying these things, and it's, why can't that be me? That was a good introduction for me with the wheels, with the mental health thing. And then because I'm also out riding all day and working up an appetite, it's also creating hunger, right? So now I'm eating more, I'm feeling better, my spirits are more uplifted, I'm not so like tired, and I'm like go go go. It's made me not so like shy in my bubble. When I first started riding, I was very like hi, like sitting in the corner. I have a lot of safe people where I will hang around with at certain events. If they're not there, then I probably won't be there.
Yeah.
So the EUCs, it's really showed me a whole other side of people, that there are good people in this world, and not everybody's so like selfish and out to get each other, if that makes sense. It's a big difference in the communities compared to like other ones I've been in. But when I'm having a bad day, EUCs, just like go to the trails and I'm riding. It's a beautiful sunny day. You see the animals, and it's nice. I haven't ridden when I've been like upset, because I'm scared of that. That's one thing. But I know for some people, when Jesse, he gets kind of upset, he'll go for a ride, right? And that just, it calms him right down, and he comes back and he's smiling and he's happy, right?
Yeah,
so it's nice.
Yeah, I love that you guys are like getting that from that, because like it is important to have some sort of stress relief. So thank you for sharing that with us. I love how much you push yourself out of your comfort zone. It's actually inspired me to do the same again. What are some of your best practices with learning new things on your EUCs? Because I had, like I said, I had that M10-4 that I got from Seth for over a year, and I just started using it because of you. And I'm like, I see her doing all these cool, fun things, and I want to fall in love with EUC again. So
yeah, honestly, it's a lot of fun. Watching Sosh and Jesse just like mess around on them all the time. It's like, that's so cool. I want to be able to learn how to do that. And that's just kind of, I just picked up on it. I was just like, okay, let's do this. And I found that it's helped a lot with riding. Like, I didn't ride all winter long on my suspension wheel there. I just rode the small wheels, and it allowed me to keep my mobility up, the habits and everything like that, muscle memory, to be able to get back on my big wheel during the new season. Learning how to ride backwards, learning how to do 180s, it gives you a good introduction on how to obviously do it on a larger wheel at a smaller scale. And obviously it's a little easier when you're on a tile floor. But the riding backwards and the pendulums, it's just so much easier on a small wheel, and it gives me that, okay, this is what I need to do on my big wheel, just amplify it by 10.
Yeah, I love how you're
a lot harder to do than
I love how you're eating a donut and you're drinking something. You're just like,
why not, right? It was dead at the store, so might as well get some footage.
Do you have a preference with which wheel you're doing little like practices on, like riding backwards or pendulum? Do you have like, because I feel like the M10 is a bit scrolly, and I've tried like the M10-5 and the InMotion V8S.
The Mini is my favorite.
The M10 Mini.
So I bought that M10-4 for myself, but for Jessie to race at the Mini PV games. I rode it a little bit. I was just like, like I like it because it has an LD screen on it that Jessie turned pink for me. Other than that, I don't like it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, here, babe, you have the wheel. You give me the wheel that you won for free, and I'll take that. The Mini I find is a lot more balanced because the tire has a wider diameter and it's not so rounded, especially when if you let out that little bit of air. The only thing that sucks with the Mini compared to the 4 is the ankles. The Mini really digs in, but Jessie's put in like some good baby cushion padding, and now it's great. The only thing is that really sucks with those two wheels is if you want to practice how to 1 foot, is it's not impossible, definitely not, but just it's harder. It really digs into your shins. But I prefer, you see me riding more on the Mini than you do the 4. I do everything else on the 4 as well, but I just more comfortable on the Mini.
With the Mini. Yeah, I need to get some of that baby foam because I definitely get that sometimes with my M10-4, the little bruise. So
even the yoga pads, like yoga mats that you can get from like a Dollar Tree or dollar store, they work really well. Jessie just cuts them in squares and hot glues them, and that's what I use too. That's what I did on my 14M, the wheel that Kara has there. That's how that was my first pads.
Oh, nice. That's a good like life hack. Like just cut up some yoga mats and use them for
like pink, and he was trying to get me on the wheel, and I was like, it's hurting me. And he's like, well, you just got to get used to it. And I just looked at him, just like, I'm not made for this life of getting used to this.
No.
If you want me to learn this, then.
And then also then you don't have to take such breaks between learning because then you have to let that heal and then you have to go back.
Yes. I found my back was hurting more than anything.
Oh yeah, because like you're like trying to maneuver and using like your legs and swing your body a certain way. I completely agree with that. How long did it take you to learn to ride backwards and pendulum and all that?
Backwards, I want to say a couple days of like 20, 30 minutes a day for about 4 days. Pendulum, probably to get it like actually steady and controlled, about a week. I started off with pendulums first and then started going backwards, and then that's what kind of adapted into the backwards riding. And then it was just kind of, you combine it all and you do the 180s and you do backwards, and it's just this one flowy, smooth line. And everything kind of just correlates together. So pendulums, backwards, 180s. Yeah. All nice and smooth.
Yeah, I can't just get on my wheel and ride backwards yet. I can do the pendulum into backwards riding, and then I try to go further and further. I'm still not comfortable like looking back, and the guys are like, just look back and go. And I'm just like, I can't.
You look back and then you turn like your whole body, and I'm the same way even on my big wheel. I like using like the hand mirror, the wrist mirrors, so I can like do this and then just see behind me, because I'm not risking myself to.
Yeah. I love these videos too of you and Jessie because you guys are just so in sync. Like he's able to just like read your body movement and do these like little cute videos with you. So I'm like, oh my god, they're so cute.
Yeah, 5 years together every single day. We'll definitely do that. We jump in sync even when we're at the track. We don't even mean to. Just we'll be thinking of something and then separately, and then we'll just both say it. We just somehow just link that way, which is honestly a blessing compared to everything else.
Yeah, I think it's so sweet though. I really do enjoy seeing your videos.
Thank you.
So keep them coming. Keep making them.
Yes, we're trying new things. I got him seated on, I don't know if it was the Mini or the 4, but I got him seated on it because I don't know how he does that so well. Yeah. And then I was sitting on him and he's like riding around the store and he's just like zooming, and I'm just like, oh my god, how are you doing this? Yeah. He's riding like different ways. His feet are postured different ways, and
he's like skills.
It's in my future. Yes. So the only thing I won't be doing is riding on top of my wheel.
I know, I saw that and I'm like, oh my gosh, these guys are crazy. Like, first of all, how? Like, I can barely like do a one-legged with my M10-4 and they're just like, oh, we're just gonna ride on top of them. And
Sasha's doing it on his master now, like nothing. And he just like hops onto the pedals and it's like you guys make it look so easy. And then Sash is tall, right? He's pretty tall, so has to have that extra weight up there. That's a lot of balancing, and his feet are like this on his pads.
yeah.
And then like they do it on the small wheels too, and it's like I don't want that in my future. I like my ankles where they are.
That and yeah, I'm too scared of heights to do that. Go up higher and higher.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk to you about the PV mini games. Have you been able to participate yet, or like how has that been for you? Because I know like going to events is a bit out of your comfort zone.
The mini PV games, thankfully, we'll call it home. Everybody there, I know that I can run up to if I'm having an issue and they will take care of me. So that is one amazing thing about the mini PV games. As for participating, I don't have an interest.
Okay.
The only thing that looks like ID like fun for me was the last one they had obstacle course. But other than that, like I'm not in for the big group hurdles of racing. I know it's for fun, and I know a lot of people enjoy it and gives them the confidence. But it's not for me. I'm a sore loser. I'll admit it. I will be the first to admit it. I do not come from a competitive background. Even though I have an award for best sportsmanship. I don't know. But I would rather be involved on the sidelines, like helping with the event, because I know that they could always use help. They don't always need, there's lots of racers. But for the people that actually want to help out is very far and few. My thing is just kind of getting myself more in there and being more confident to help out. But not an interest to participate.
Okay. And so do you ever think you'll race? Like what would get you into racing? What stops you from racing?
What stops me from racing? So the only way you're gonna get me into racing would be time trials. Like what kind of like Jesse did today, best time out of your 3 laps or whatever is your winning. And that's just because I'm by myself. There's no one else's wheel person or anything that can hurt me. I see too many people pushing. I would not take racing that serious enough to push myself like that. So I just kind of stay to the sidelines for that. But the danger of it, the competition, the early mornings, the training, like there is not much that really appeals to me besides the really cute pictures that get taken of you guys.
Yeah.
Other than that, I love taking the pictures of you guys. I love cheering you on, watching everything. And I know at the end of the day, like the videos, the pictures of the racers mean so much to them. And it makes me feel good. Like I go with Jesse and Alex to all their races. I get videos of them, pictures, and it creates their platform, right? And that's what makes me feel good. I'd rather just be the cheerleader.
Yeah. And we love the support, don't worry. Like whether you're racing or not, just like having your friends there to cheer you on, it does make a difference into
And I'm also like, I'm not like, if I start racing, you have to get better equipment to protect yourself, right? You have to spend money to race, and that isn't cheap. And Jesse's already a racer as it is, and he needs more equipment and upgrades for his wheels, and having 2,
it's costly.
Yeah, and if it wasn't as costly, I would do it more for fun. But I'm a very frugal person, very frugal. So especially in a world that we live in nowadays, I have too much other stuff to pay for.
Yeah, your priorities have to take precedent. Like you can't just spend all this money you don't have on things, So you're being responsible, which is good. I think also like a lot of things that women kind of are tired of is just like not having our proper divisions. Like it would be
that is a big thing too.
Yeah, like if you're an amateur and you're getting thrown with pro, it's just like you're not gonna podium.
Yeah, so why try? Like to me, why try?
Yeah.
Like I know you're not gonna podium all the time, but if you're not even gonna have like that level of a balance field, then Like when you go, when you have boxing and you have all of those sports and everything, they're all class weights, they're all levels. You know what I mean? It's that's also part of the thing where it's like, is there a point?
Yeah.
And then it's speed. I don't want to go faster than 60 kilometers an hour, right? And you have all these fast wheels.
Yes. I think that's why I like the dirt races more than the street, because I feel like the dirt races are more accommodating to people, because like I get it, like people are like, oh, like we don't want to just give out participation trophies, but at the same time it's like you're kind of giving an incentive to someone who did something really hard that they would never do. Like when I did Northwest last year, there was only like 5 girls racing, and so me and Mia kind of knew where we were going to place, because we were both like, we're going to end up in the amateur. But it definitely pushed me to race, because I'm like, well, at least I'll get something out of it. And yes, I did kind of like eat it towards like the end of the race, but like I could have gotten off the track, and I'm like, no, I made it this far. I'm going to finish. I'm going to get that trophy. And when I got that trophy, it felt so good, because it wasn't just about that I got second place, because I knew I was going to get second place, but it was more so that I completed something really technical and really hard, not being a trail rider. And it kind of like motivated me to keep wanting to ride trail.
I remember that. I was so proud of you. And your winnings with Mia and everything, it just looked so like, it's such a wonderful moment, so precious and loving. There was so much like just joy in there. It was great.
Yes.
Watching that was like your first race, and it was awesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was so funny. James Darnell was like, so many people fell there, and you're the only one we went to go help. We were laughing, but yeah, the support was there, the love was there, and it definitely like motivated me to try. I'll see. Maybe I will race Northwest, but I'm on medical duty, so we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's your favorite event and why?
Well, I've only been to two events, which would be the Quebec races there that we had last summer, and the one coming up in July, and then the mini PV games. And honestly, nothing towards the mini PV games. It was fun. It's safe. I love you guys. But the Quebec races, it was all off-road. It was nature. I stayed in a cabin. The people were also phenomenal. I did my first group ride there. In the night. It was a night light. There was like all these funky lights and music. It was a great vibe. It was just really nice. Wasn't too many people compared to like what you guys have in the States, where it's a lot of people coming in and out. Where this place was, they rented out like this conversation area type of thing. And then we stayed all in these cabins, and there was like these beautiful trails that usually we wouldn't be allowed to ride if it wasn't for this race event, because it's just for like hikers and bikers. But out of those 2 events, which aren't a whole lot to pick from, the Quebec one was by far, hands down, my favorite, and it probably will be for a bit. I made such great friends there, and they were also wonderful. Still talk to them to this day, and I can't wait to go back this summer.
That's one thing I do love about those events. Like you meet people from all over the world. You also come out a better writer, I feel like, because like you're riding with different people, you're learning from different people. So I think that's really, really fun. So I wanted to ask you, like, I know you do other hobbies, like you have drone flying, RC racing, and art. I wanted to talk a bit more about that.
For sure. The drones and the RC is the part of Jesse, of course. He's a professional drone pilot. So then he started off as racing. And of course, being his other half, I had to be supportive and join as well. So I started flying FPV drones and then got sponsored myself. Jesse just brought this one over. And of course, Pink.
Oh, Pink!
So Jesse builds freestyle drones.
Oh wow, it has the pink lights too. It's so cute.
And her name is Alice.
Oh, Alice?
Alice.
I love that.
I don't know. Well, you probably have. You know the movie Wonderland, Resident Evil?
Yes.
She's so quiet, and she be coming at those zombies like nothing.
I love that. How long have you been drone flying now?
5 years now, because I couldn't say no. Wasn't allowed to say no. But I'm more of like a cinematic sort of style where Jesse, he's really he does flips and tricks. So this is me learning how to S dive.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot harder than you kind of expect. It's not like the DJI drones where it like self balances and it returns to home, all of that. It's a lot of different controls. And since I don't have feeling in my fingers in my right hand, I can't actually feel what I'm doing with the controller, and I can't see because I have goggles on.
Oh no.
So
Yeah,
it's
so hard.
it really is. Again, Jesse doing what he does, fixing things, altering things, doing what he can to be able to get me flying to where I want to, has been amazing. But I love taking videos. I love capturing moment memories, and this was kind of my thing of, okay, I might not race and fly 200 kilometers an hour through an open moving vehicle and do, upside down orbits, but I'll fly.
That's really cool. And I've heard like people getting into drone flying, they do like I think they're called like drone simulators.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's how Jesse learned. They do races on there, like online. Jesse held one of the first for on the map there for a while, but you learn all your technique moves and everything, how the controls, how to do certain tricks, your speeds. And then that way you don't have to like smash your drone up. Now, unfortunately with me, I did not like the simulator. It felt too much like a video game. There wasn't like enough wind for elements and all of like those things. It just didn't work for me. Works phenomenal for other people. So that's a really good option to go for if you're trying to learn how to fly anything, because there's simulators for airplanes, there's simulators for RC cars, there's simulators for helicopters, FPV drones, regular drones, all of it.
Yeah, that's so cool. Congrats to you both too for having like other hobbies outside of EEC that you guys can do together, because I know it's a struggle for some couples to get their partner out of EEC, and it's like, hey, there are other things that you can do besides EEC.
His ADHD brings him to every hobby known to man. I've stepped a little bit aside from like my own stuff just because I needed to take a break. But like the FPV world, it's been his life since they first came out. Like I say that he's built freestyle drones on popsicle sticks. That's how long he's been flying.
We're gonna get Jesse on the show to talk to Nelson so he can talk more about like the drone stuff.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. But the community, night and day difference, at least for out here. The female,
100%. We need him to talk about this stuff.
Pardon?
No, 100%. Nelson's like 100%. We need to get him on the channel and like do an interview too.
It's awesome. The hobbies are great. Keeps us busy.
I love that.
We need more indoor hobbies.
Oh, maybe like rock climbing or something. I love to climb. Or archery.
So I do archery. He got me my first bow and arrow for my birthday when we first got together, because who doesn't want to be a Daryl from Walking Dead?
Yeah,
right?
Or like rock. I feel that.
And then I always wanted to rock climb when I was little. I'm good at it, but I refuse to cut my nails.
Oh, I feel that. I used to go rock climbing when I knew that I had to get my nails done soon, so that when my nails got messed up, I just went to go get them done again.
We went rock climbing a couple times, had memberships, and then it just eventually I was just like, it's summertime. I miss my nails. No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's good to have that activity to do during the winter, because in the summer you're gonna want to be out anyway. So makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what is the community like where you're from?
It's really good. It's really supportive. I'll admit we don't ride with a lot of people, like we don't go out to like we're about an hour away from Toronto. So to make it out there sometimes is hard to ride with them, especially with me. They do a lot of city riding, and Toronto city riding compared to where I'm from, Whitby, that's a night and day difference. It's like New York to me. And it's too overwhelming. I did my first ride the other 2 weeks ago in Toronto with Kara. and Jesse there, but we don't ride a whole lot with the community, unfortunately. We're hoping this summer we can get some off-roading done with them. But from afar, they're awesome. They're really supportive and everything. They're always making sure that we're pushing and doing what we got to do to kind of keep leveling up. The people around here, we have more of a one-wheel community, and that's where Kara comes from, is one wheel, and like everyone that she rides with. But it's mainly Jesse, Sash, and we're just the three little bunch that kind of just ride together. Possibly more so my doing, because I don't trust riding with other people right now. I'm too fearful. I've seen way too many accidents happen. And I'm so
out by some e-boarders, so I know how you feel. So yeah, come from other people, yeah.
But it's ironic that I'm terrified to ride with other people. I've said no to this, but my own, because I don't want to get ran over or hurt from another rider, but my own boyfriend ran me over. Ironic, isn't it?
It is.
So ironic.
Jesse, how dare you?
He said I headbutt him.
He headbutted me. Watch
See?
the video.
I headbutted him.
He's like, it was payback.
Yeah. Oh, he still hears from it to this day. I'm like, hey, you ran me over. You can't say that.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like bringing me to my next question about who supports you in your community, and are there any companies that are currently supporting you?
I do not have any companies that really support me besides maybe Mini Wheels maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's just because he's a really good friend and that sort of stuff. I'm not out there quite yet. I'm hoping to kind of get myself out there a little bit more and reach out to some companies. Ride one. They got me. I would have been tied with them. They would have supported me.
Yeah.
But
what happened with them?
It's so hard to sell EUCs here.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we really don't fully know, but with the EUCs, it's so hard. And it happens so quick, right? I'm not in the tightest circle to know that type of business, but they're all doing their own thing and they're all doing great. So that's all that we can hope for and wish for them. But the gentleman there that was holding my hand, that was one of advertiser owners, or one part owner there of Ride One, and he would not take no for an answer that I didn't want to ride. He's like, you're getting on it.
Yeah, now you love it. Now you're like,
now I owe him it.
Yeah,
I do. He's like, get on this thing. He's like, I don't care if you're a dainty little flower. That's what he calls me. He says I fall like an elegant little flower.
That's sweet.
He's great, but and right now no companies are supporting. I haven't put myself out there quite yet, but I am thinking of a couple to reach out to. I just need to kind of go over. I was actually going to message you to see how hey, how do I reach out for this company type of thing?
Yeah.
Right, I don't.
Yeah, we could definitely talk more about that, down the line, when you're ready.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I don't want to advertise for racing for type of thing, but advertising for Shaz from Indonesia there. I want to do stuff like her. She's always advertising this different gear and doing photo shoots, and I can be a girl. I can be a girl.
And I think we need more women to advertise to other women, because guess who's coming into the sport? Women. So we need someone talking about the differences between different types of helmets and cardo systems and gear.
Yeah.
I think that's so important. And they were really smart to get Shaz into it, because she's beautiful. She's a great writer. She's she just looks like she's a great time. You'll have
she's
fun.
Phenomenal, and she's the sweetest
and very talented. So talented. Yeah,
she really is. From all the different hobbies that she's been in, and then with her other half there as well. They remind me of me and Jesse. They do all the hobbies together, and
Muay Thai.
They're so adorable. But I love her confidence, and I love her spirit and how she's out there in the community. And if that's one of the riders that have I've looked up to where what I want to do in the community, right? Because everybody's like, okay, what's your niche going to be?
Yeah.
So that's what I would rather do. I'd rather be like an advertiser, kind of riding around, doing my little dances or having fun, you know,
Yeah.
not be so serious.
Nelson, that's another girl that we got to get on the show, Shaz from Indonesia.
She's awesome.
Yeah. So that was my next question. Who inspires you and why?
You obviously inspire me a lot because you're always pushing me, and I find that you share a lot of, like, you empathize a lot with the anxieties that I have, and not make me feel so like when I first got into the community, I got told that I'm going to be slow, right? So no one's going to want to ride with me, right? And you've changed that perspective, and it's made me not want to push myself out of like that danger zone. And because of you, like, Kara starts, like, when she's riding with us or anyone new, I always make sure they're in front of me. I never leave them behind. And like that saying that you said to me, we are as fast as our slowest rider, has always stuck with me. Jill Seedbug, I've seen her when she first started riding, when she did the E-Rider Brett's challenge. Oh my God, that was just phenomenal, right? And then Shaz, like those three, like you three are the biggest content creators that I watch. There's obviously Kara's confidence between going from one wheel to EUC has just blown my mind.
Just hybrid riders. I think they're awesome.
They're all so amazing. Mia, she's been so great with boosting my confidence and like telling me to keep pushing and all of that, right? They're real. You guys have really like kept me going, especially on days where it's like, okay, am I doing this right? Am I even should I keep pushing? Am I stuck at this level? Like, do I need to be a racer? Do I need to go this fast? Right? Because everybody races, like everyone I talk to, right? But you guys have made sure that like I don't need to be something that I'm also not, right? And that support alone inspires me to be just a better person as well. And just watching everybody just keep pushing and seeing like how happy Mia's family is and everybody riding and everything, that it's all just so nice and inspiring. Well, Jill's so fearless.
I truly appreciate that because I'm always in my head as well. And just like now you inspire me to like do better and go out and try new things, because I fell out of loving EUC for a while and I started to resent it. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. There's been times where I wanted to walk away, and then I see like you post these cute little videos and I'm like, oh my God, like that looks fun. I need to re-fall in love with EUC. So thank you for that, because
of course
I wouldn't have picked up that M10 if it wasn't for you.
Well, I'm so happy that you did, because you're doing amazing on it, and like your little tutorial videos and just like your progress, it really helps other riders as well. Like even Kara was saying like she watches that and Crispy's videos, and it helps her as a new EUC rider too, because what works for me might not work for her. I've already learned that with mounting. I've almost hurt her because I do a 3-step when I mount, and somehow this girl can mount on a standstill wheel, stand there for a couple seconds and then go. I don't know how she does it, but she's doing it. She's doing great.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think I've been thinking about doing a how-to on how to mount the M10-4, because when I was riding with Reese was having a hard time getting on the M10-4, and I'm like,
it digs.
Yeah, I'm like, this is something that Turbo told me to try, like to hold it like sideways and then get on. And when I showed her that, she's like, oh yeah, like this is so much better. So I definitely will do a how to mount an M10-4 like sometime this week.
You should.
Yes, because it's so important. Like you said, everyone learns differently, right? So
and that's it. Everyone has their own tricks, right? I don't see anybody mounting their wheel like I do. I can sometimes do the one push off and go, but half the time I have to do like a 3-step and then I can go.
Yes, exactly.
But I tried getting Kara to do that on the master, and the wheel almost went sideways on her, right? So, but she can mount perfectly fine. So it really all depends on what works for you.
Yes.
And the pad setup too. That's a big one.
That and settings, yes. Kara actually just said more tutorials for EUC would be amazing, especially from the girls. You got it, Kara. We're going to start dishing out those how-to videos. for you, just for you.
She's gonna pick up on it quick.
I don't doubt that. I feel
No.
like on any kind of like one wheel or e-skate, I feel like they pick up EUC so fast.
The one wheeling, I got on one of the most stablest boards, and I thought I was gonna fall off and just and there it is such a nerve-wracking feeling, and I have like so much more respect for Kara because like she just rides off-road doing the speeds that like I'm basically doing, right? And you see the board just doing this, but her whole body's just still.
Yeah, they're stable.
Oh my gosh, EUC's 10 times more stable.
Yeah.
10 times more stable, like.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. She said you guys are too kind. Well, we have to give credit where credit's due.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. No, she's doing great. I knew she'd pick up on it fast. She's motivated.
Yes, and I can't wait to see her riding EUC. Maybe she'll be racing one day too.
She wants to. We'll see what happens.
Well, also, Kara, you have like the best people in Toronto to learn from. Like, definitely like talk to Shira, talk to Karen, like any girls that race out there, talk to them. I think you'll do great.
I think she's gonna do awesome.
Yeah. So when are you gonna come to the States? I know you're talking about possibly Northwest and Amped. Do you think that like around that time frame?
Probably, just because it's what, a 19-hour drive.
Oh wow.
Just from here to Arkansas, right? And then I think it's about a 20-hour drive or so to you guys. So financially, it's probably going to be like the Northwest type of. That's when we're going to be out there, just so it can, and then spend like the extra couple days, and then really enjoy it. Just with everything, it is so hard to kind of travel and then also get it off work too, because Jesse is he helps run the store and that we have there. So between time and financials, we would already been up there if I could afford it.
Yeah, if you come up, let us know. We'll host like a group ride, and it'll be chill because the girls like here, they don't want to like speed through anything. Also, people are kind here. Like we'll ride and we'll move to the side to let cars go by, and they go by and they're like, "Those are so awesome. Those are so cool. You guys are great." And I'm not used to that because in New York, it's like, "Get out the way."
That's how it is, kind of like. From my experience with here, right? When Jesse and I, when we go riding though, like we're pretty respectful. Like we stop at all like red lights. We let cars go first and that sort of things. We're not racing with traffic or in between vehicles.
It's too dangerous.
It's not
worth it.
I don't like playing Frogger.
Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect example.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like each their own. Everybody has their own riding style, and I give them ultimate respect for the confidence to do that.
Yeah.
But I don't have that reaction time or the ability to control my wheel to be dodging traffic like Frogger.
Yeah, agreed. So are there any EUC riders you would like to meet someday?
You.
I know, I can't wait to meet you. Like we've only been talking like forever. I feel like we talk almost every day.
Basically, it's usually when we don't, it's like we're either like really busy or we just need a mental break from social media itself. Yeah. Between you, Mia, Shaz, Mike, like Shibby.
Yeah.
And then like a couple of other like Grace. Right. Those are like the main ones. There's obviously like people that I'm starting to like talk to and get to know. I'm just a very particular person on who I really meet in person. But those are the main ones.
Well, if he comes Northwest, I think we'll definitely meet almost everyone except for Shaz, unless we can imagine that Shaz over here.
That would be amazing because I wanted to go to Indonesia until I figured out that they had coconut spiders there, and I don't want to go there anymore.
No, I don't like spiders. Yeah, when we first moved into our house here, we had a wolf spider in our garage, and thank God I did not see it. Turbo had like this little air blower, so he like blew it out the garage and it left. But I was like, oh my God.
Jesse and I were camping one time up north, and we were in it was in a cabin, and we were supposed to sleep in the basement. He's like, but we were upstairs watching TV, and he went downstairs to go to drink, and then he comes back up pretty quick, and I'm like, oh, where's your drink? And he's like, oh, never mind. There's a spider on the wall. And I'm like, what do you mean? There's a spider on the wall, and you just left it? And he's like, yeah, it's a big spider. I'm not dealing with it. It's like on its way up here. And I'm like, oh, so we're gonna sleep right here, and this spider is gonna come up. So here's me going down. I have to go down these. It was this wolf spider, right?
No.
I grabbed a flip flop and a Swiffer mop, put the flip flop on the mop, and I'm like pretending to like figure out how to like hit it. I got one chance at this bad boy.
Yeah.
He doesn't kill bugs. He's useless that way. We get roommates.
Yes.
He's terrified of them. He'd be like, babe.
I'm lucky that I'm terrified of spiders, but Turbo isn't. And I'm very lucky that Grace and Doug, if I have any issues with spiders, they're so good with animals and insects. They'll just pick it up. Grace just picks them up and she has a little tarantula in her home. And it's so cute and tiny now, but when it grows bigger, I'm like, maybe I'll try to hold it. I held it sheds. So I held the shedding part and I was like shaking. I was like, oh my God, this is scary.
I can't do spiders.
No, I'm trying to learn to love them, but I'm like, maybe we could coexist, but then they like get into a place where they start moving. I'm like, no, why don't you just stay in your corner?
Yeah, like I named them. I'm like, oh, Jeffrey's doing his job. He's collecting the insects. But then like next thing I know, Jeffrey's right by my toilet paper holder. And I'm just like, you're in my zone now.
Yeah, you're kind of being disrespectful, Jeffrey. I was letting you live with you. There's no reason.
I'm sorry. Your life now has to go.
Yeah.
No, I don't like bugs, but it would be cool if we could somehow get Shaz over here. I think that would be cool. That'd be a lot of money, probably.
Yeah, well, we could probably make it happen. We'll have to like talk to her and see like maybe next year we can get her into this.
Yeah, do like a GoFundMe page or something. Get Shaz over.
Yeah, exactly. She has enough followers. I think if everyone just donated $1.
Yeah. She has quite a bit of followers, and I think like the people that she rides for would also help out quite a bit to come over to the States or Canada or wherever.
We got to get her in the girl Telegram chat. That's what we have to do. Yeah,
I think the language barrier is the biggest issue. Yeah. Because I do a lot of translating with her. So that's the one issue with that. But she's so like she sent out a huge invite for a bunch of riders to like do some like movement like this. So she is very involved and she tries to like be involved with everybody. Because it's such a small little place that she's at, right? It's like what isn't it like an island some sort somewhere?
Yeah, I've tried to reach out to her, but I didn't think, like try to do translate for her language because I'm like just chatting in English and I'm like, she probably doesn't even like know the language. So
she translates it sometimes. And she knows I think she knows some English because she sent me some things, but I could be wrong. I'm just really good with language barriers because Jessie does a lot of warranty stuff for Bagode, and then the FPVs all over in China, like the manufacturers. So it's constantly trying to talk to them as well.
I'll have to pick your brain with that though, because I would love to communicate with her more because I do want to speak to her. Like I have so many questions for her.
No, she's awesome. She's really sweet and supportive.
Yes, I love that. I love to see that in the community. Well, if you can ride anywhere in the world, where would that be and why?
I think Ireland or somewhere very green.
Well, Race for the Highlands. I heard like they have a Facebook page, and when I did Zoda's interview, she was talking about it that they're having a race next year. So that might be something to like. And I think you can also talk to Nelson because Nelson also did that event because that's where Zoda met him. So pick his brain about it because I think if you're gonna get close enough to Ireland, it's Scotland.
Yeah, no, I agree. It would definitely, I would love to be able to go and ride over there. I'd bring my mama and I'd put her somewhere and she would be in heaven because she always wants to go there. And I just love the greenery. And I get that from her. I think it would just, you're riding around, you just see all these little animals and the little sheeps in the hills, and it's just greenery for miles on end. I think it's so nice. And then my mom was also, loves that whole culture out there, and I think it'd be nice.
Yeah, I think that's a good trip idea. It's
Mhm.
like start bucket listing it and like speaking to the communities out there to see how you guys can make that happen because that's how you guys can ride out there. Like I know when people are coming here, we're like, oh, we'll lend you a wheel. You can stay
Mhm.
with us. Like, and that's what I love the most about the community that like everyone wants to like help out and everybody wants
Yeah,
to make their trip happen. So let's look at to see if you find any like Ireland groups. I'm sure they are.
I'm
Like,
sure there has to be. I'm sure Jesse knows a couple of them. If not, I'm sure I'll find somebody eventually.
yes, I agree. So my closing question, because we're now, nearing the end of the interview, what are some EC goals or dreams that you have?
My goals is mainly higher jumping.
Higher
Is
jumping.
that higher jumping? I think the last couple of videos that Jesse has posted is my end summer goal.
Okay.
Maybe without a couple of them because some of them they're pretty, they buck you up there quite large. But my goal is to get up there jumping. I know there's quite a bit of female jumpers, but there's not a whole lot in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of motivating as well. Like Kaz, she jumps. I know Karen wants to jump.
Yeah.
So
I saw Karen practicing.
yeah, we brought her to the track, and I'm like, she blew my mind.
I think it's more fun too when you're learning things with the girls. Oh, see, Nelson is that the race for the Highlands, Nelson, from the old one? I think so. Reese also said she has to board her flight. She'll watch the rest when she lands. Thank you, Reese, for watching. We appreciate you. Yeah, so this is Nelson's video of Race for the Highlands.
Oh, see, look at that.
It's beautiful. Oh,
it is.
I could definitely do some drone footage out there too.
Oh, yes, look at that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be paying attention to the race. I would be riding up and down those hills, taking pictures, riding along the rock lines. Like, that is just...
That's beautiful.
The fresh air that's out there, probably. Oh, my Lord.
Right?
That right there would be the destination to go to. Look at it.
I would feel like Merida from Brave.
Yeah.
But
I want to get into some like BC trails as well. I think like the heavy rocks and everything and the crazy drops that they do is awesome. So that would be another goal of mine.
Yeah.
But that would be so like beautiful.
Yes. I love that. Well, I just wanted to say thank
you.
Hello. Hi, Nelson.
I just want to say that is so beautiful. I invite all of you to go there. That is just, you are in heaven.
It looks like it.
But you have to be careful because of the weather, because the weather in Scotland can change in 3 days. We have first day, sun, second day, you don't see nothing, and third day was raining.
Yes, it's usually pretty wet there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let you continue, please.
Oh, we're just nearing the end of the interview. I just wanted to thank you so much for being here. I am so happy that I got to finally speak to you. I feel like I got to know you a little bit more.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and Jesse, I know you're there. Come to the camera.
Well, you know he's never far from my side.
No, Jesse, you're so supportive, so sweet. I love just seeing couples that are just like, they help each other out. They're like unified. So thank you for taking care of my friend. I know you knew her first, but thank you for being so supportive and being so loving. It's so important. I hear you are such a big part of her journey with like mental health and healing and everything. So thank you guys so much.
I appreciate it. Well, she gives me a lot of credit, but she doesn't get enough credit. We both come from pretty rough backbringings with past relationships and stuff, and we both help each other grow in different ways. So she's helped me so much growing and progressing and getting my dreams done. Mm-hmm. It's only right to help her do what she wants to do. Now she gets into my hobbies a lot, which is, I feel bad because her hobbies are more like fashion and stuff like that, which I can definitely get into, but I'm also an adrenaline junkie, so it's kind of hard to make time for that and all that. But we definitely got to do more of that type of stuff.
You take pictures with me. It's all like I'll take that.
Her big thing's pictures.
I like pictures.
Yeah, you do all her like footage, which is great. So you guys balance each other out.
Yes, we do. He helps me out with all the footage and advertising of myself and getting me out there and grounds me quite a bit because I get too much in my head.
Yeah.
But thank you for bringing me on. I really enjoyed talking with you finally, and I hope I can get out there and to the Northwest and finally meet you.
Yes, I'm sending you those dates when we log off. And I just want to thank everyone who came in to watch the interview. Much appreciated for the support. And yeah, we'll see you guys again soon.
Bye.
Bye.